What's going on, everybody? No, I did not forget. I've been busy all day at my new job.
That is so awesome, man.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, last week I interviewed for a first grade teaching position. Didn't get it, but that person asked if she could pass my information along to all the other, because she had a principal meeting the day after. She said, "Can I give your information to other people? They're still looking." And she did. The next day, she gave my info to the principal. I got a phone call last Friday night while I was at the wedding. She said, "I'd like you to come in on Monday morning for a third grade teaching job interview." I said, "Okay, perfect." Well, actually, I didn't. I emailed her back because I was from a wedding and I'd been drinking. I didn't want to be talking to her on the phone. So I emailed her like at 7 o'clock Friday night once I knew she called. She got back to me Monday morning, I think, and asked if I could come in at 12:30 Monday. And at like 1:30, she offered me a position. Not third grade. I am now a middle school science and math teacher.
That is so great.
Yeah, so it's official. I'm actually a full-time, as the kids say, I'm a real teacher now.
Do you make the kids call you Mr. Lefty?
Well, they have to say Mr. Yes, especially in a Catholic school. They have to be very respectful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So let's see. So Wednesday was our first staff meeting. So from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. was trainings and learning everything for the year. And then I think I was there till 5 or 6 o'clock Monday night, just getting the classroom somewhat straightened up because it was a mess. I spent a good chunk of yesterday there. I think I was there for another 5 hours yesterday after my HR stuff was done. And then I was there again today from 11:30 to 4:30.
Do they have air conditioning?
Every classroom has its own, thankfully, so I can freeze myself off if I want. Actually, no, we've been asked not to put it lower than 66 because the coils tend to freeze.
Well, 66 is pretty cold.
I usually put them down to 60 or 55.
I would think that would make the children cry.
I think legally they can't put it below 68 for health reasons, but I was told I could put it to 66 if I want.
Nice.
Oh, Jimmy, you went to Catholic school? That explains so much.
Are you going to have to wear a yarmulke?
That's Jewish.
Yeah, but they still might be strict on rules.
Nope. I already asked about dress code. I can do polos. I can do dress up, button up shirts, polos, button up shirts, and then you just khakis, basically. I can't.
What about tattoos?
That's fine. They did not. They don't care. I purposely wore long sleeves to the interview and to the first staff meeting, and then I asked a couple of the teachers I met, and they're like, honestly, I don't think they care anymore. See, the Pope that the Catholic Church has now is doing his best to like modernize the whole faith, because in the past, if a non-Catholic went to a Catholic mass, you couldn't go up and get communion or do anything. You just had to stay in your seat. Now they let you come up. It was super strict before. Now it's gotten much more lackadaisical because of him. So
I think I would just rather sit.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't have anything bad on my arms. I mean, the worst I have is some Celtic symbols, which could be considered pagan, which, you know, the church hates the pagans. But
well, and you got a bunch of demons.
I don't have any demons. This isn't a crazy Catholic church. Yeah, they're not crazy like that. Because I said, oh, I've got these. They have a Pokemon club, so I'll be fine. One of the after school clubs is actually Pokemon.
What? Could you join it?
Well, I already told her I'd help out with it. Yes.
Nice.
And then I already said I would help. They have an extra school, like after school daycare, basically like an extended day thing. I told her I'll do that once a week and make a little extra cash there too. So, nice. And it's only 15 minutes from my house, so it's not super far away.
Nico's sleeping behind me.
Hello, Nico. That's a very cool shirt, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get political.
What?
It's Cthulhu for 2016. He didn't win.
I didn't know he was on the ballot.
I don't think he was.
So
enough cultics in this country. And the deep ones rarely leave the ocean now.
It's true. I mean, technically, he can be a write-in vote.
Yeah.
You're technically legally allowed to write whoever you want for president. Mickey Mouse gets a lot of votes every year.
I think you're allowed to write as many as you want in some states.
And then, if anyone's a fan of The West Wing, Jed Bartlett, who was the president on that show, gets the most write-in votes every single time there's a presidential election. Like in the thousands. It's crazy.
Well, I have voted in every election since 90, I think, or 92. I think in 90. And yeah, it was 90. And I have lost every presidential election but one.
Wow, I can say I have a 50-50. I had a 100, and now it's 50-50. Anywhoozle, hello, chat. How is everybody doing? I see a lot of cool people in here. And Patty, why did you change your name on me? That's going to confuse the heck out of me.
Where's Patty? I can't even find her.
Assuming that Patty is Beta and Guppy Gal now.
What?
Because look, I mean, that's I don't have a lot of mods, and
I said hi to her, but I didn't know I was saying hi to her.
I'm guessing
I was
that's
like,
Patty.
See, where I said hi, Guppy and Beta Gal. And I did that on purpose. I put the guppies before the beta.
I'm reading the comments. I'm fairly confident it's Patty. But yeah, so our first day is Wednesday. We have to go to church once a week. And then once a month is like family mass or something.
You have to bring your mom and dad in?
No. It's like the kids go with their families if they want. Well, they don't have an option. They go and then I think there's a mass I just take my kids to. And then once a week, all of middle school will go together because there's 8 8th graders, or there's 7 8th graders. There are 16 7th graders and 14 6th graders.
So are you going to bring Lucky in? I mean, Copper in?
Not allowed to. They have a 0 tolerance policy for pets.
So you're supposed to bring your kids in, but not your pets.
So I'm basically, I don't have a science curriculum to follow, so I can kind of do whatever I want, I was told.
Beneficial bacteria.
So I'm thinking I do want to try and see if I can get some fish tanks donated and then talk to some companies about, plants and fish. And I'm hoping and thinking I might be able to get some stuff.
Yeah, you could teach the nitrogen cycle. It's actually science that matters.
Mm-hmm. And even if it's just, loosely related to what we're learning, I could still fit it in. I've got a whole back countertop with outlets, so I don't have to worry about surge protectors. And then there's a whole wall of just outlets, wall to wall.
Wow.
So I could easily build a stand or see if I can get a couple stands donated and just put. Ideally, I think I would like a minimum of 140 gallon. That way it's big enough and you can get through stuff. But if I got a few 20s, that'd be fine too. Hey,
you know what I bought this week?
What's going on? What's up?
I bought a 40 long.
Oh.
And they're really cool. I've never had one before. They don't make them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the footprint is so big, I've decided I'm going to totally remodel my whole fish room just for that.
Oh. Cool.
I'm taking the 220s that are behind me in the show when I do streams from there, even though I haven't for over a year. I'm going to put the 40 breeder in there, and then but the 40, not the 40 breeder, the 40 long. And then I'll put a 20 long in long wise next to it because they're the same height.
Ah, okay.
So it's basically like 220 talls side by side. It's really neat.
Okay. And I have a metal bookcase. I don't know what it's rated for, but it's one of those old school metal bookcases. So I'm thinking a 20 would probably fit on it, but it's so rickety, I'm worried to put it on there, so I probably won't do that.
Do they have an art teacher?
They have art. Well, it's weird. They don't have a gym teacher yet. They don't have a Spanish teacher yet. They just hired a 3rd grade teacher. I was a late minute hire. So they're still trying to fill a couple holes in the schedule. Yes, CJ, I got offered a full-time gig as a middle school science and math teacher now. So
I could do PE and art.
We'd have to live up here, though.
Yeah.
I just realized I have to update my resume now.
Yeah.
It's a pay bump too. Pay bump, full bennies. We get an annual raise, regardless of what's going on. We always get an annual raise. So it'll be different.
Now, how's the lunch work?
I drop the kids off and then I go to my room and eat, or I can go to the staff lounge and eat.
Do you get to eat the food in the cafeteria?
If I want, but I'll probably just bring
I
food
love
home
school cafeteria food.
It's not what it used to be, though.
Oh.
It might be different because it's a Catholic school, but the stuff we had up here was disgusting.
Oh, it's gonna be fish all the time.
No, it's just like, so they had popcorn. They used to have good popcorn chicken. Then they got new popcorn chicken, and it was just all breading. There was like no chicken in it. Even the mozzarella sticks they would have. Did you have French toast sticks when you went to public school?
No.
So we used to have French toast day, and that was one of the few days I'd actually eat. Now they no longer do French toast sticks. They all come in pre-packaged Pillsbury bags. They give them waffles injected with syrup. It's disgusting. They're not good. Bagels injected with stuff. Actually, Jimmy, I get paid through the summer. So I'm a 10-month employee, but I'm a 12-month pay cycle.
Oh, congratulations.
So I still get a paycheck through the summer, and I will probably save some money throughout. But yeah, I'll have a bit more spending cash now. I'm not going to go crazy, but I don't have to worry as much for summers now.
Speaking of money, I was wondering if you could help me enroll at the Clash, my art objects and fish again.
Yes, Brian.
I don't remember how we did it. I just remember I just gave you whatever money you asked for at the Clash.
I think so, yeah.
It cost like $25 or $20 or $18. And if you don't want to pay for it, I can figure out another way to pay for it. But if we could figure out how to enroll me, that's the important part.
You could probably just message Scotty and he might be able to do it for you or something. I don't know. But yeah, we can figure it out. I'd have to see when the enrollment closes. It might be opened up pretty close to the end, but I'll have to look. Yeah, but that's no problem at all. Hey, Cody, what's going on?
I've got 9 art pieces this time, and then I think 4 or 5 fish.
Cinnamon toast sticks? What? Is that what I said funny, Nathan? Huh? What did I say? I don't even know anymore.
I am way too old for French sticks. Beta guppy girl.
But yeah, so it's going to be fun. I'm already thinking there might be a certain someone in the fish fam that has a high-end degree I might be able to have as a guest speaker through a Skype call or something. If you're still in the chat.
Anytime.
You can come out and talk about guppies.
Hey, I qualify to be a substitute nurse, or not nurse. You don't want me as a substitute
You're
nurse.
A substitute RN, Ed? Mozzarella sticks? Is that not how you guys say it?
Mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
It's mozzarella. You got to get the Italian in there.
Mozzarella.
That's how I grew up. It was always mozzarella. because matzo is completely different.
Oh, CJ wants to know what my shirt says. It says Cthulhu for President 2016 when the stars are right. And the 2021, I have a Cthulhu. I buy the new Cthulhu every 4 years. And the 2021 I have says vote for Cthulhu. He's the greater evil. Or vote for the greater evil. 2020.
Listen, Patty, you have your Brooklyn, Jersey way of saying it. I have my Connecticut, Italian way of saying it.
I think I've deleted Patty.
That or we just call it Mutz. We don't even say the full name.
A mozzarella.
Speaking of which, did you see that the voice of Mario has finally retired? The guy who's been doing it since the beginning is no longer going to voice Mario.
Chris Pratt?
No, the original, not the movie voice actor, the guy who did it in the video games. The It's-a-me Mario guy.
Okay. Not only am I too old to have French sticks at school, but I'm too old to remember what Mario ever said. I hated Mario Brothers. I didn't like jumping on the little boxes and then hitting them with the top of my head.
Were you more of a Crash Bandicoot guy?
I didn't play with either. Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot. It was on the PlayStation. Or were you a Sonic guy? You Sega?
I did like Sonic. Yes.
Actually, no. You were clearly Pong. You were sitting there playing Pong, right?
I owned Pong. I owned the original machine that had 2 games. Had Pong, and it had this race car game, and the road just went like this, and you had to drive the car between the other cars.
Earthworm Jim. I love Earthworm Jim. Yeah. Hey, QC.
I am a member of Earthworm Jim's, or I'm subscribed to his channel, but I haven't gone to it for quite some time.
Oh, there's a video game called Earthworm Jim.
What?
There's a video game called Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, the creator of the comic book and the video games.
Oh, he has a
YouTube channel. I can't think what his name is, but I used to enjoy watching him do his artwork.
Mm-hmm.
After the election, he went completely bonkers. But he
that happened to a lot of people.
Politics might be important, but they really aren't. Don't let them affect your life that badly. Don't freak out one way or another, because life is too short to worry about a bunch of con men that just want to figure out how to take your money.
So yeah, I've been extremely busy. I went Monday was
Cthulhu.
I went to my old job on Monday, and I was like, so I walked in, and our secretary kind of looked at me. She's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Well, I've got good news and bad news." She's like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" I'm like, "Well, I was offered a teaching position." And she just looked at me. She's like, "No, you're not allowed." And then she came over and gave me a big hug.
Aw.
Oh no, Winky's got 104 fever. Oh dear.
Oh, poor Winky.
That sucks. Can you take Advil or anything to reduce that fever? Maybe you feel a little better? That stinks.
It really does stink. But it's better it happened now than closer to the clash.
Skipper, how many more fish could you possibly need?
I got fish this week. I added 17 fish to my collection.
Wow. So I added a fish and then lost said fish.
Oh.
I finally bought a spotted Congo puffer, and it didn't make it through the night. But then I talked to the fish store, and we found out that the TDS where the fish came from is like 300 higher than mine, and the pH is like a 1.5 higher than my pH. So the fish, we're both thinking the fish just was extremely shocked, because I tested the water before I put them in. There was no ammonia, no nitrates, no nitrites. There was nitrates. Temperature was fine. I didn't even think to ask what the water chemistry was where he came from, but he did not survive the evening, sadly.
See, Winky's on my side. She says Cthulhu forever.
So I think I might just have to.
Did you just flip us off with your middle finger?
Oh, I was pushing my glasses up. I always use this finger to push my glasses up.
I thought he says like, tell them on.
So I don't know. I might, instead of putting the puffers in here, I might just do my sorority tank instead. But I also thought Imperial Tropicals sells 100 neon tetras in one thing. I'm like, maybe I'll just put 100 neon tetras in there and be a crazy person.
Awesome. How much does that cost?
It was like $100 and some odd, but I don't have the money right now because I just spent $1,000 on Amazon that I don't have to buy stuff for my classroom. Folks had to loan me the money because I barely have enough to cover my bills until I start getting paid.
Well, if I'll pay my own fees if you can just show me how to do it.
All right, it's super easy. I'm gonna laugh if Skipper gets tank mates for this beta fish and it turns out to be a jerk and kills everything.
Why would you laugh at him? I can tell you the worst tank mates to ever put with a betta.
What's on your list?
Number 1 is American flagfish.
Worst
thing that ever happened in my life.
What happened?
Okay, so I've got my farm tank with all my plants in it.
Mm-hmm.
And American flagfish are incredible algae eaters. You know, they eat everything. But they leave your plants as long as it's not a soft plant because they like ate all my Japanese pennywort. But well, I put a betta in there, a giant white betta, because I thought it would look pretty with the flagfish. Mm-hmm. They ate all of its fins off.
Wow.
It was nothing but a body and it was alive.
Damn.
I put it in a 5-gallon bucket with salt to see what would happen, and he died the next day. It was so sad.
That reminds me of when I used to do the cleaning of the tank that my mother did, where you pulled all the fish out and cleaned everything top to bottom. I had 4 cories, and I had I think I had 1 serpe left at the time. Put them all in a fish bowl because I was just cleaning things real quick. The Corridors ripped all the fins off of the serpe tetra. You remember the scene in Deep Blue Sea where the sharks pull the other shark apart when they're feeding them a shark? It reminded me of that scene because the Corys just started ripping the serpe to shreds. It was the weirdest thing I've ever witnessed keeping fish.
I've never seen Corys be violent.
It was extremely bizarre. And wow. I could add 100 fish, no problem. The tank will be just fine.
I hope to see what happens when Corridorable meets Serpa tanks.
But yeah, so now I'm trying to run down the list of fish companies I've worked with and ones that I haven't and see if anyone can, like if I could talk to API and maybe because it's not for YouTube, but it's for school, maybe they'll give me some test kits or something. I don't know.
You don't know.
And then, tanks is the big thing. That's the biggest expense besides the fish. So I'll have to reach out to some tank companies and just see if anyone can donate anything.
Oh, look, there's John from Select Pet. I wanted to say Kentucky. I was like, wait, it's just not called that.
No,
well, John, you missed an awesome show. That place was packed.
Yeah, I'd never seen Corey's do it either, CJ. So when I witnessed it, I was like, did that really just happen?
I'm just about to move about 20 Corys, so I'm kind of nervous now. I'm going to put them in a 75-gallon tank with 1 angel.
Oh. Well, yeah, I have angelfish now, too.
Oh, nice.
When I ordered the red-eye puffers from Imperial Tropicals, I got some blue Filipino angels, and they're actually still alive. So they're already doing better than the betas I had, or the angels I had years ago.
That's awesome. I bought a school of Odessa barbs.
Oh, okay.
And I bought a pile of rice fish.
Very nice.
And I thought I was buying the blue platinums, but these are just the platinums.
Oh,
how did I? He had them side by side, and I don't know if he did a trickaroo while I was talking or what, but I said, yeah, I want some of these platinum blues. And we're talking and everything, and he put them in a bag. I think the platinum's in the bag instead of the platinum blues. But it's okay. They are pretty. And that's all that matters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but John, yeah, it was a huge swap.
Because of this new job, I did unfortunately have to cancel Daytona.
Oh,
will no longer be going to that event.
Another reason for me to hate Catholic people. No, I'm just teasing.
Yes, CJ, I'm going to try and do fish tanks. Like I was telling everybody, I don't have a set curriculum for science. They're allegedly working on it, but who knows? So I can kind of do my own thing. So I have a whole slew of textbooks that are in the classroom. I'm going to look at like Connecticut standards and kind of make my own map of what I want to do. And I'm thinking I might want to just reserve the fish tanks for like the older kids, like the 8th graders, and then try and do something different with 7th grade and another thing with 6th grade, just so they have something to look forward to if I'm still there in a couple of years. But yeah, I don't know. I thought of this I was driving and I saw Rack's. Yes, I'm still going to the class. I told her I had a thing to do. I was driving, and the field journal that Rack gave me at Aquaticon was on my front seat. And I looked over and I'm like, field journals. I can have the kids do scientific field journals with documentaries on the TV and like have them take notes on what they see. And then I can have them turn those journals into their own documentaries or something.
Is it in the city or in the woods?
What?
The school.
The school's in the woods, but I'm thinking like I'll put on like a nature documentary or something. I'll mute the audio on it or put music with it and then let them watch.
They can take field trips.
Well, yes, we can. But I'm also thinking I can just have them watch it and, take field notes on it, and then they can turn those field notes into things. I thought of a few things I can do with them just to get them more involved. Yes, Select Pet Catholic School is a little different. So I was looking through the old curriculum from 10 years ago, and there's, the normal sciencey stuff for 6th grade. Then 7th grade started talking slightly about reproduction. 8th grade had a whole unit on reproduction that got super more in depth. I don't want to talk to them about that. And then the 8th grade curriculum also had fossils, dinosaurs, and evolution on it. And there's literally a big X through it because it's a no-go subject with the Catholic Church. So there's things I have to avoid. And I don't really want to be talking about, reproduction with a bunch of Catholic kids.
Yeah. And I don't have anything against Catholics. I think they do great stuff because the monster movies, they're great in them. They make the monster movies really good.
So the reason dinosaurs are a no-go is because dinosaurs and evolution tend to go hand in hand. So you can't really talk about fossils or any of that stuff, allegedly.
And I used to go through checkpoints, for alcohol checkpoints, sobriety checkpoints, because they thought I was a priest.
But like I'm still going to do like the body systems and the bones and all that stuff. I just don't plan on going super in depth into reproduction. And then I'm thinking maybe if Susie Q gets axolotl eggs again, that could be a fun project that I can do with one of the groups of kids. We can hatch some axolotls.
Carrie, the science gal, went to a Catholic school for 3 years, but she wasn't Catholic. I wonder if the Catholic kids used to beat her up a lot.
So yeah, I just have to be careful with a couple things, but everything else is, pretty simple. Even the history teacher, I was talking to her and she's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to talk about those things with them either.
You could talk about how corn is grown.
True. But yeah, there's certain things I can do and can't do. But like they said, anything you need, just ask for clarification. So I could ask her if it could briefly be touched on, but I don't even want to go there. I just assume avoid it. And most of these kids will probably end up going to a public high school anyway, because that's usually what happens. Parents usually send their kids to a private school for K through 8, and then when it's high school time, they usually send them to the public school.
Silver Creek says he has a lot of different information on that stuff. Probably growing corn, what he was talking about with me. There's Foxy Fish.
Hey, Foxy. Okay, thank you very much. Because I'm thinking that could be something fun we could do with the kiddos.
Have them watch Foxy Fish's
well,
stream
because I have a bunch of posters that are life cycle posters of different animals, and I saw frogs was one of them, and I'm like, we could probably easily do frogs if I could find a pond or something that has frog eggs, and they could watch, them hatch and go through the cycle of everything. But then I'm like, I know Susie gets axolotl eggs a lot, so maybe I could do that.
Silver Creek says corn and ancient history. Now, are you also the history teacher?
No.
Oh.
Which is unfortunate.
What was the other subject?
Math.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
I told them straight up, I'm like, I have no problem with the science. Math, never my strongest subject. So I'm going to do my darndest. And then I had like 3 other people tell me, they're like, worst case, watch a YouTube video on it. Show the kids the YouTube video.
Okay, well, let's do a math question for you.
It's not so much math as it's geometry and algebra and all that good jazz.
Well, here's my math question. It's a word question, I guess. Okay, if your butcher is 6 foot tall and wears size 12 shoes, how much does he weigh?
Good question. I have no clue.
Let me re-say it. Maybe if I say it better, if your butcher is 6 foot tall and has 12 size shoes, what does he weigh? He's your butcher.
Oh, okay. He weighs beef.
Yeah, he weighs meat. Did somebody put that in there? I messed it up. I said, how much does he weigh? And I the first time. So I screwed it up. Sorry, guys. I tried to do a riddle and it sucked.
But yeah, I would have loved if I was able to do. Could do social studies and science. That would be the dream. But usually they put history and English together and science and math together. So, hey, Tampa Tom, that's good. So, I'm hoping. And that woman who teaches history and language arts has been there forever. So.
Did you tell me about your new job beforehand or afterwards?
I mean, I posted it on both Facebook pages.
I think I may have forgot that we were live for a while when I was asking you questions.
You commented on one of the statuses about the job.
That's cool.
And I have to, I just realized that my shorts that were scheduled have all since run out. So I have to go reschedule all the ones that I have currently.
Now, Do you have to wear a special type of loafer?
No.
You can wear any type of shoes you want?
Mm-hmm.
Can you wear Crocs?
No. I don't like Crocs anyway.
Have you ever tried Crocs?
Yes, I don't like them.
You got to give them a chance. You got to wear them for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, you find out that you love them.
Ah.
When I first put the Crocs on, it was really weird because it felt like there was a bunch of rocks on my left foot. Under my left foot.
Well, see, that's what I'm worried about, CJ, because the 8th graders is when algebra starts. But I'm just looking now, like stuff I did in high school has slowly been moving down the grade levels over the last decade. And I already knew like 8th grade stuff is now, or sophomore year and junior year stuff is now like 8th grade and 7th grade. But for them, I think 6th and 7th grade I'll have no problem with. Math, 8th grade I might, just because of the book they use, because it doesn't look very teacher friendly.
Now, I heard something about how the Department of Education wants to make it so they want you to give points to kids that fail, so they
Well,
don't
see,
fail as
we're a
bad.
private institution, so we don't have to follow all the laws and regulations. We be
that's
protected by the separation of church and state and the First Amendment.
So do the kids get better educations that way?
Honestly, it seems like it, because the teachers can actually teach and don't have to just teach through a test.
Was there anything that you didn't like that you had to teach when you were in the public schools? Like, did you
The
have
whole
to
reading
do
curriculum was
something like
awful.
a weird math that you'd never heard of?
No,
I
they
thought they
just
were
teach
doing some
different ways
new
to.
type of math that adults don't know or understand.
They changed how certain things are done, but the curriculum we started using last year like teaches them 6 different ways to do the same thing. That way they can pick and choose what they want to do. So there's 6 different ways to do long division. There's 4 different ways to do multiplication. Most of the kids choose the way that was taught for the last 100 years. They don't do the new way. They do the old way because it makes more sense to them.
Yeah, I don't understand the new way.
The
If
new
it's
way
math,
was
I guess it still works.
the new way was written based on a base 10 system. So everything, because for some reason, apparently normal people see everything out of 10. So they made a math system around that. So if every number you could somehow make to get to the closest 10 and do your math that way. I don't see math that way. I never did.
Okay, I got another question. Speaking of how you let people pick and choose 5 different ways to do their math, have you played that new Baldur's Gate game?
Baldur's Gate 3? No, I have not. Everyone seems to love it.
It's amazing.
I know
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know they pissed off a lot of the AAA companies because they actually came out with a polished game that isn't crap on release and is disgusting.
What's a AAA company?
Like Bethesda and Microsoft and all that's like the big name companies.
Huh. Well, I tell you what, it is crazy fun. I haven't played like a game in for years. I bought that one of those Xboxes to play with the nephews, and it was some space game. We were all supposed to be space people together and fight aliens, and I got seasick. And then the next time I bought a game was about a year later, and it was some pirate game that looked real good where everybody got to have a pirate ship and stuff. I couldn't figure out how to swim. Every time I jumped in the water, I drowned. So I didn't play that game but for about 2 hours. And so I haven't played anything for almost a decade, it seems like. Well, no, not a decade, but for 4 years. And I tried this game, and it is so much fun.
Okay.
If you ever buy it, someday maybe we could play together.
Sure. I don't plan on buying anything for a while, though.
Yeah, well, I don't plan on playing with anybody for a while. My brother bought it, and he keeps begging me to play with him. And it's like, if I do that, I'll miss all the storyline. Because my brother
Yeah,
just runs and kills. And I just like talking and stealing stuff in the game. I think it's fun. Like, I found out this undead guy helps me, but like he'll resurrect my people for 200 gold. But then I can just steal it from him. I steal all my money back from the guy. He doesn't pay attention well because he's dead. Oh, Patty says, do I play games on the phone? And I do. I play Hustle Castle, Star Wars Hero of Galaxies, and Clash of Clans, which I don't even like. I just play it. But all three of those games I play are just time fillers.
Yeah.
When I'm bored.
I've been playing Mech Arena on my phone lately.
Is that a robot fighting game?
Yeah, you get to collect different mechs and weapons and go into an arena and fight people. Of course, D&D counts as a game, Select Pet.
Well, okay, I play a lot of board games, Select Pet. So I meant just video games. I haven't been playing for a long time. I used to play video games religiously.
Do you do a lot of this is completely off topic. Oh God, do you do a lot of Repashy food?
I have some, but the only time I use it is like I'll make a big batch up before I go to the class. And I cut into squares, and my dad knows to just drop one square in every tank.
So I tried.
Guppies will eat it. The catfish will eat it.
I tried mixing some of the Soylent Green one the other day, or whatever the hell the green one is, and it never set up. So I'm wondering if maybe it went bad.
I bet it's too much water.
Because I did the same ratio on that one that I did for the community one, and that one came out fine.
Well, look, maybe the back of the thing, maybe the spirulina doesn't.
I added more powder, and it still didn't set up. It just got thicker and never fully gelled up. It was weird. And I threw it. I mean, it froze when I put it in the freezer, but then the second it hit the water, it just dissolved and was disgusting. Up my tanks. So I just ended up throwing it all out. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
My local fish store, Aquatic Aesthetics, they said that 3 different people were asking for Repashy foods. So he went out and got it, and he's only sold like to those 3 people.
Wow.
Nobody else buys it.
It's kind of most people now don't want to have to take the extra time to go and make their own stuff. They want to just go to the store, grab the bag off the shelf, open it up, and feed their fish.
Yeah. He does 3 foods. Sarah, which people buy.
Yep.
Because it's easy. Hikari.
Yep.
Which is easy. And then Repashy that nobody buys. He had bug bites and nobody was buying bug bites.
Really? Huh.
Nobody was buying the fluval food.
See, the bug bites and the Hikari are like my 2 staples. And then, of course, the North Fin, because I bought like the entire one of everything John and Lisa sold. And the freaking tubs will last forever.
He's never bought the stuff that I like. I like Omega 1.
It didn't get harder, Select Pet. That's why I'm confused. Like, I put twice as much powder in that I did for the community one, and it just never set up. It would get thicker, but it didn't gel. It was still liquid. So I'm thinking it might have gone bad. I didn't know it could go bad, but I think it went bad.
Patty said she just she was reading that she was feeding too much protein. Now for guppies, they call it getting chesty because they get fat around their head and their chest part, and that's from too much protein. I don't know about betta fish, what happens with them if you feed them too much fattiness or proteins.
And I got
I
some
don't know enough
plants.
about Velez.
I got some plants from Boost Plants too, giving their plants a try. And so far, they all seem to be doing pretty good.
I gotta remind myself to look up that Boost. What's their address?
Boostplant.com. Steve-O, did you hit the button on the actual stream that set a reminder, or did you just have the bell for my channel done? I have found that the bell on the channel is totally unreliable, and unless you click the set reminder button on the actual stream itself, you almost never get a notification. Also, we only have like 2 minutes left.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna go check my email for that booth.
And then tomorrow I have to be up early. I have a doctor's appointment, and then I have a phone call. And then Sunday I'm going to the cookout at the workplace just to meet people. And then Monday I have a training. It's going to be a long few days for me. So if y'all don't see me for a while, that's why.
Don't forget to do your crucifix thing.
I don't have to do that.
You want to look good to these people.
I don't. Well, because I'm not Catholic, I don't have to do the Catholic things. I just have to be respectful. So like they did their Hail Mary or their Hail Marys, and I just bowed my head and folded my hands.
Are you gonna put ash on your forehead?
We do that in my church too, but that's just for Ash Wednesday.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I've had to catch myself a few times, Patty. I'm trying very hard not to swear in this building either.
It's gonna be awesome.
Is it actually just gelatin mixed in with the Repashy? Because I have bags of gelatin. I could just add some of that if it went bad.
Is there a Catholic cathedral built on the place?
So there's a church that's offset from it. That it's weird. There's like 2 different churches or something. I don't know. It's very strange. We're attached. We're in the middle of 2 other buildings. Couldn't tell you what those other 2 buildings do. And then there's a separate church.
I hope you get to go in the basement sometime and look around.
I don't think there is a basement. These are post-World War II buildings when they didn't put basements on things.
I bet they got a basement. They just don't tell anybody.
Yes,
it'll be awesome.
In a Catholic school.
Take videos.
I know my school doesn't have a basement. It's just on a slab. That was a big
there's
thing.
Nothing scary.
That was for whatever reason. That was a big thing. Like when they were just slapping up houses for soldiers and stuff during World War II here, they didn't put basements on stuff.
It's a bummer.
Anywho, it is 6 o'clock, which means we're officially out of time, and Coldwater Aquatics is going live. So I know this was really quick and really short. I do apologize for that. I did tell them that I can't do anything Fridays after school. So unless I have a random PD that I shouldn't have that lasts way longer than it should, these streams should not be changing. I may be less active in the streams and stuff, but other than that, I'll still be around. I'm still planning on doing weekly videos. But yeah, anyway, thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you, Ed, for being here. Thank you, mods, lurkers, chatters, everybody, replay crew. I do appreciate it. And we shall see you next week, September 1st. Adios, everybody.